So I take off the helmet. I do not have to defend Tom Brady as I thought. We dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet. Patrick Mahomes is great. He's been to 5 Super Bowls, more than as many as John Elway, and more than Joe Montana, more than all these other quarterbacks. This is kind of how he compares. But he lost in the two he lost. He lost to Tom Brady, and he lost to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, and he lost pretty badly. He lost in a very embarrassing, sad fashion. It reminded me a lot, like I said before, like I said in part one, it was very, um, reminded me a lot of that 2013 Super Bowl. Um, it had a, it was just kind of sad. It was just kind of like there was no juice from the get go, and I know the stats won't really say it, but he did not play well at all. He played pretty bad, and we'll see how it moves forward. But that's just Mahomes. Like I mean, like it's there's there were times I heard like Nick Wright, who is a great big Patrick Mahomes defender and big Chiefs fan. He's defending. Oh, it's like you know what? Yeah, he's not Brady, and it's like if you're, I mean, it's like, but he's better than all these other guys, and it's like, well, if you're not first, you're last. In the words of Ricky Bobby. Um, so yeah, it does like he was gonna if he won, he would have entered the GOAT debate, and there would have been a decision, and people would have been like, oh, okay, there's an argument, but to any rational mind, there is no argument. Um, that's one of the things like you talk about any kind of GOAT debate. That's why basketball, like Michael and LeBron, there is enough argument for both sides that there's discourse, that there's back and forth. But with this, it's just like there's not enough evidence for backing Patrick Mahomes until he proves otherwise. And still, that is a stumble if he is trying to pursue Tom Brady. That is a big. He just tripped, and it's just wild. Um, Congrats, but like again, like the Eagles played insane. Played like the best team in football. Jalen Hurts does deserve his respect now. I think he is. I think that really he is like when I kind of compare him a lot to the Seahawks, but he is like a better version of Russell Wilson because he's not like the terrible teammate. He's just like the better version of Russell Wilson, which is like Russell Wilson at his like prime was like really like just good. And like they talk about like he's like, oh, he's a game manager. Oh, he's not perfect. He's like he's a winner. It's like that's his like his secret. Like yeah, he doesn't have a great arm, or he's not like insane like quarterback. He's a winner. Wins football games. He's kind of dedicated to his craft. He's talked about like Michael Jordan. Like he's texted Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter. Like that is some cool fucking people to text. Um, like that, like have those guys in your phone. And he's very collected, calm, and he deserved that. Like he deserved every single like. He's like, yeah, hate me. Like I don't really give a shit. I'm just gonna go out there and win football games. It's not. There's no narrative. It's just I'm like, yeah, Philly's kind of loud. Nick Sirianni's kind of controversial, who also just won a Super Bowl. It's like winners, winners win. It kind of is like a little. It kind of gives off a little Patriot vibe. Not quite as much. It gives them more of that Seahawks like just energy, um, Legion of Boom kind of ideas, but kind of like a Patriot Belichick kind of do your job kind of situation. But they also have an insane roster and an insane general manager. But anyway, less on the Super Bowl. We've talked so much. I do really want to just get into just some sport. Like I like to talk about sports moments in my life, and like you know what? I was thinking about it today. I was like, who is the like the because I ran into a collegiate track star that I hadn't met him in real life. He goes to the University of New Mexico, and I was over there just playing basketball, and I saw him while I was walking by, and I was like, "Oh, that's Haptum Samuel," and he was like, "Oh, hey," and he was just running by like everybody else. It's like me being like a sports nerd and running track myself. I had seen him like fall in the 10K last year in the NCAA championship, get up and beat everybody and like by and gap the competition, which was absolutely insane. He in this year's cross country championships, he lost his shoe in the freezing cold and proceeded to get second by like by and it's like this dude's a stud and he just he should like that's like just wreck it like the right it was like oh holy crap. Um, I was thinking about like the most insane like sports people that I've seen or met or saw. It was like so for me, living in New Mexico, it's kind of you don't like see them. Like I never went to games as much. I would listen to them on the radio or even just watch them on TV was pretty like special. But I think some of like the top 10 moments. I actually recently I saw I saw Marshawn Lynch at my job. So I have a job. Funnily enough, there was a he was shooting a movie over at my where I was working, kind of late, and I didn't realize. I went to talk to some of these guys. Like, hey, yeah, like what are they filming over there? Because we weren't allowed to like go over there, right? And they were like, oh yeah, just some I don't remember the name of the movie for the life of me. And they were like, "Oh yeah, it's like have you seen like you follow sports?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, you like watch football?" And I was like, "Yeah, I watch football." Like, and he's like, "Yeah, one of the guys over here is Marshawn Lynch." And I was like, "What?" "Yeah, he's riding his bike right over there, smoking a cigar." And I was like, "What?" That's Marshawn Lynch that's riding his bike around. You're like, "Who's this guy riding his bike?" And I see him ride by, and I was like, "Yeah, they should have ran the ball." And like he waved and like he never like came out. I was like, hey, can I get like I kind of yelled out too. I was like, hey, can I get a picture? He didn't respond, which is fine. Like you can do him, but um, I kind of have that like funny thought in my mind because he probably like he rode his bike down by where my car was parked, and I have a little Patriots insignia just like slapped onto the back of my car, and he probably saw that and was like, oh, this fucking Patriots fan. So rode his bike, and it was awesome. It was that was so cool. Marshawn Lynch beast mode is an absolute stud. Uh, one of the and just out of the blue, like he's in New Mexico. Like no sports guy, like you never see like sports people in New Mexico, which is awesome. Um, that and then like of course I've been to a Suns game. Like I got to see Devin Booker. I never and Lamelo Ball, which was kind of cool. It's not like as big a deal because it's like like a sports. It's like a game. It's like you go up and talk to them, but like still for me, it's like going live to a game is awesome. I'm planning on going to watch Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark play. I don't think it's for the first time, but I'm gonna double check on that. Um, in Dallas over the summer, I think that's gonna be so cool to watch and see. Those tickets are gonna be expensive, but like that's why I just like and subscribe, right? Um, trying to that would be like a top 10 sports moment for me. Um, but it's kind of cool, like you know what I'm saying, like to see these guys. I remember being a kid and the Patriots were playing in Denver, and we were driving through Denver and driving by the stadium there on I-25, and knowing that Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman were in the same, I was in the same square mileage as them, was like mind boggling. And like, I don't know, that's just one of the things you, as a kid, it's like, if I had seen Tom Brady in real life, I still would probably react like, "Oh my god, like holy fuck, it's Tom Brady!" But because like he's just that big of a deal, I guess. Still, it's kind of it would be earth shaking, but being in that like just I was just knowing he was there at the stadium was it was insane. Um, anyway, it's whew, um, I want to start this new a new thing where I drop a Max's sports faxes, and we'll do that towards the end of the video. But I wanted like Max's sports facts, so uh, with an X. So we'll drop those one of those at the end of the video. But I thought it was a kind of cool idea. It kind of came to me while I was on a walk today. So we'll I already thought of one. We'll share it at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. But anyway, we got to talk about some other things besides like just football, uh, track and field moments. Yet again, UNM was snubbed from the men's college basketball AP Top 25 poll. They have the best point guard in the country. Like I've said over and over again, Donovan Dent is insane. They have they have the best pace. They have probably one of the better coaches in all of college basketball, which matters. And they're running through the Mountain West. They are. It is. It is. They clapped Utah State. They are going to clap Wyoming tomorrow. Today, I guess, because I'm recording this at midnight. But why doesn't? And I keep checking the AP poll. They're not on there. They're not on there. It's UConn. It's everybody else. It's in. It's mind boggling. They're the best they've ever been. We can check it right now. We'll check it. What the hell? We'll see this AP top 25 poll, which is utterly ridiculous. UNM is one of the better. Is maybe I'm a little biased, but they moved Michigan up in the rankings just because they beat a ranked team. It's like, oh my gosh, open your eyes. Oh, look at this. They have Maryland, Creighton, Clemson, Mississippi State, which has lost like so many games in a row. Oh my gosh. Missouri, Michigan, Ole Miss, Marquette, Kansas, Wisconsin, Kentucky, Memphis, Arizona, Texas Tech, Michigan State, Iowa State, St. John's, who New Mexico played really freaking well, and who can't shoot the shit out of the rock, but Texas A&M, Purdue, Houston, Tennessee, Duke, Florida, Alabama, Auburn. They have such disrespect. I think the people at the AP poll forget that New Mexico is a state, mostly like the rest of the country, and just disrespect the fuck out of them. And they're like, "Oh yeah, that place exists. Yeah, we have the best point guard in the country." It's like, "Oh, the guy from Rutgers." I'm like, "No, it's Donovan fucking Dent. Like, he's a surgeon." And we rolled the Mountain West. We just really we kicked the shit out of USC. We kicked the shit out of UCLA. We played St. John's really well. We played Arizona State really well. The only team that we lost to San Jose State and NMSU, and those are probably the two worst losses we've had. And it's like, and it's so dumb. It's so dumb. I'm gonna look it up so we're all for sure on this because this is getting ridiculous that they're not even close to being ranked, and it's like, yeah, well, you had Utah State ranked, and we wiped their so dumb. We lost to San Jose State by one. We beat the shit out of BCU. That's probably our best win. We beat the shit out of USC. We lost by 3 to Arizona State. Our biggest loss was to St. John's, who is ranked number 9, who can't shoot for shit, by 13 or 14 points. And they played him well. Nelly Jr. Joseph had 16, 8 for 11. They didn't make free throws that game. They play good. They're such a good second half team. And if you watch them, it's like, yeah, they kind of it kind of linger. They kind of let teams linger in the first half, but that second half, it's lights out. They play so well in the second half. And we got Wyoming, Utah State, Boise State, Sandy. We own the conference. We've beaten everybody. This is the best start we've had. Donovan Dent is the best point guard in the country. I don't care. I don't care. Duke Duke dropped the game to Clemson. Cooper Flag. I mean, I like Cooper Flag a lot. That was pretty damn devastating what he did there. We get Alabama Auburn tomorrow. I know because I can kind of ramble about UNM. So whenever that's kind of when I do Twitch, so then you guys can cut me off. We're like, we don't give a fuck. Talk about fucking Duke basketball. Talk about somebody else. Um, but fuck, some of some of these are just a little ridiculous. But anyway, this Cooper Flag he's gonna be the number one overall pick, which is kind of nice. We needed somebody from fucking college because the NBA drafted an ass recently, and we need somebody who is naturalized in the United States or can kind of. It's like, oh, he's not a one and done, but he's a one and done, but he's cool. We know him. He's from Maine. He has a story. He kind of has a background. You can kind of attract to him, which the NBA needs. Um, but otherwise, they're kind of fucked. That's really the plain truth of it. The NBA is kind of fucked right now, but they're getting some revamps back. They're getting some other things. I'm excited for March Madness. I'm excited for this Luka Lakers uh, experiment. I love how Dallas gets Anthony Davis. They get in his debut, he drops 25 and 16 and a non-contact injury that he'll be out for a couple of weeks. So they got the whole fucking Anthony Davis experience. Um, but holy shit, we need a I need a co-host or something to get me off of my fucking tangent sometimes because I will go great. I need somebody to bounce off of, but we'll see. We'll find out what we can do. Um, but for right now, I think that's all I'm gonna have. This is mostly a big sports brain dump. But peace.